What if Doctor Doom was in DC Comics? Doom is probably the greatest villain in Marvel and my personal favorite villain along with many other fans. Now, if we were to give him a background similar to Marvel, let's say that like in the comics, similar to how his mom tried to make a deal with Mephisto to save Latveria, instead she can make the deal with Trigon and things go the same and he either downright kills her or steals her soul. Now she could either just be a normal witch, but I feel it'd be more interesting if she could be a refugee from Azeroth. That way it could give Doom more of a magical lineage. And might add to why she would try to contact Trigon. Obviously this would affect Doom like it normally does, and later on he would go to college and instead of Reed Richards being his roommate, either Ted Kord, Blue Beetle, or Mr. Terrific would be his roommate, but I feel Ted Kord would be better. He'd go through the same process except in the DC universe and go across the world sort of like Batman did but on a much larger scale, mastering technology and martial arts, and he could even go to Tibet and learn from the monks and also run into the League of Assassins and Ra's al Ghul. But not just that, also learn magic and run into characters like Dr. Fate, Etrigan, Morgan Le Fay, and probably a few more. Then he'd go back to Latveria and become its ruler, combining everything he learned. He'd be a Justice League level threat and could be the villain to so many characters. One right off the bat could be Lex Luthor. Lex hates how everyone sees Superman as a god among men when he thinks humanity and men are better, and Doom would see that as a slight against himself, as he would say that he's smarter than Lex for one, but also that since Superman is beneath him and he's a god, then that means Doom isn't a god. Also, Superman himself, as he'd find it laughable and an insult that people thought an alien was above Doom. Then with Batman and seeing who could outsmart the other, and I think Doom would respect Batman since they'd have a similar background and training. But back to Ted Kord Blue Beetle, since Doom tries to mess with time a lot, it could bring in Booster Gold as they're kind of the explorers of DC, and Doom would want to show Ted Kord he's smarter, even figuring out how to access the Scarab that Ted could never access just for the love of the game. He could also be a Mr. Terrific villain as well, just solely for the fact that he wants to be smarter. More interestingly though, it could be the Titans, but more so Raven since he's a daughter of Trigon. And he just might go after Trigon himself. More on the magic side, I could definitely see Dr. Fate as whenever Doom comes up with a scheme and it involves magic, the Lord of Order would definitely get involved and try to stop him since he's basically DC Doctor Strange. I could see John Constantine having the funniest interactions with Doom, as John would try and make deals every now and then, but also just rage bait Doom while doing so, but deep down they could have sort of a mutual understanding of one another and respect the other's power, even if Doom would see him as a worm. Since he's the ruler of Latveria, just like with Black Panther and Wakanda, he could have the same interactions with Aquaman and Black Adam as they ruled Atlantis and Kahndaq. All just to show he's the superior monarch, but he could also have a unique connection to Wonder Woman though, as I feel she'd be the one hero he'd actually tolerate and sort of respect. Diana could understand Doom's desire to help the world even if it's his own twisted way, and she might try to turn him good, but Doom being Doom, it just wouldn't work out, but what do you think?